Hi, my name is Jennifer Evans. I'm the ELA consultant at St. Clair County RESA, and we are starting a new project called Guided Reading by the Month, where we will have kindergarten through 5th grade teachers videotape a guided reading lesson as they progress through the school year, so that you will be able to see what the teachers do in the beginning of the year and how they set up the routines and procedures, all the way through what's taking place as students learn the work that they are applying in guided reading into their independent practice. So we hope you enjoy this episode of Guided Reading by the Month.
Guys, a minute to get that. You know what, have you just put your pencils down. You can come back and record that later, okay? Alright, so we are going to be reading an article today called Catch the Breeze, okay? And it is about using wind power as energy, okay? So resemble means look similar or like something. So a frog kind of resembles a toad. In this article, they say that the windmills that we use for energy kind of look like airplane propellers. So think of something that resembles something else. Go ahead and tell your partner something that resembles something else.
A tiger almost looks like a cheetah.
You have siblings, you might resemble your siblings.
Yeah. Me and my brother, me and my big brother. Well, like, they call me Chelsea, like, sisters.
Okay. The next word is opponents. Opponents are people who oppose or hold an opposite opinion. So we've got people running for president, right? We've got Democrats, Republicans. They hold opposite viewpoints on a lot of issues. So they're opponents. They're running against one another. In this article, there are people who think wind energy is a good thing, and there are people who are opponents to that. Okay, can you think of an example of an opponent? Tell your partner.
Hillary and Donald Trump. That's something.
Can you think of an opponent? What if you're playing like a board game? The person you're playing against.
Mario and Bowser. Yeah.
Mario, okay. Video game. Okay. All right. Wow. We will talk about this article in a moment, but first I want to talk about our reading goal. One thing that good readers do is they look for the main idea. So to find the main idea, you ask yourself, what's the most important thing the author wants me to know? You need to find the big ideas. Okay, and again, like we talked about, we can have a main idea for the whole article, and then each paragraph has its own main idea too. Sometimes the main idea is stated, which means that we can underline it in one place. Okay. And that's the easiest one, when it's stated, it's directly stated. So let's look at this first article here. There are many different ways to make a friend. One way to make a friend is to be a friend. If someone needs you, be there. Second, remember that everyone is a different person. Respect the way other people are and get to know them. They will respect you and want to get to know you too. Another thing you can do is always be kind to everyone. You'd be surprised how many great friends are waiting for you. So if I ask myself, what's the topic, what's this mostly about? Friends, right? So it's mostly about friendship. And what's the author telling me about friendship? Well, there's many different ways to be a friend. You should be there, respect differences, get to know each other, earn respect, be kind. So my main idea is really the first sentence here. There are many different ways to make a friend. And I know that that's my main idea because of all the details that support it. Okay, so that's the easiest one when it's stated. So let's take a look at some of these stated main ideas, okay? So I want you to look at passage 1, okay? And what I want to do is I want to have the partner who's sitting, we'll have this partner and this partner. You're going to read, the other partner's going to follow along, and you are going to work together to find the stated main idea. And you should be able to underline it because it's stated, okay? All right.
So actually underline it with a pencil.
Yep, underline it with a pencil.
There are many ways to get around in a big city. Most big cities have buses. Passengers pay a fare to ride. At each stop on the bus route, passengers get off and get on and off. Taxi cabs are another way to travel. Most cabs carry just a few passengers. The passengers tell the driver where they want to go. The fare is based on how far they travel. Passengers pay a set fare to ride a train. There are train stops at each station to let passengers off, on and off. Subway trains travel under the city streets.
The main idea,
I think
it's gonna be somewhere in one of
there's
these.
taxi cabs or
Like there's
many ways to get around
So what do
a
you
big
ask
city.
yourself when you're looking for
Okay,
the main idea?
there are many ways to get around a big city. That could probably be one.
Okay, good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second passage now. I want you to read it by yourself, and I want you to underline the main idea by yourself. Be prepared to tell why you think it's the main idea. Now let's take a look at the more tricky version. Most main ideas are not directly stated, okay? Most are implied. That means that you can't underline it in one sentence the way we just did there, okay? You have to use what the author is telling you and your own background knowledge, which you already know about the subject, to come up with the main idea, okay? For well over 100 years, the volcano slept. Well, if it slept for well over 100 years, then it wasn't erupting, right? Because I know volcanoes erupt, so sleeping means they're not erupting. Each spring, as winter snows melted, its slopes seemed to come alive. Wildflowers bloomed in its meadows, so it seems like it's a very peaceful time. It's describing the time when the volcano's not erupting. Bees gathered pollen and nectar, birds fed, found mates, and built nests, so the animals are happy, they're active. Bears lumbered out of their dens, herds of elk and deer feasted on fresh green shoots. Thousands of people came to hike, picnic, camp, fish, paint, birdwatch, or just enjoy the scenery. It makes sense that they would go to someplace peaceful where the volcano is not erupting. Logging crews fell tall trees and planted seedlings. So what the author's telling me is that for 100 years there was no activity, the volcano wasn't erupting. So I know that this is before the eruption, okay? The author's telling me that it's spring, flowers bloom, animals are active, people visit. So this is a peaceful place, a peaceful description. So I can put this together and say the main idea is, for many years before the volcano erupted, it was a beautiful, peaceful place, okay? So that's not, I can't underline that in any one place. You see that? Mm-hmm. All right, so now we're going to try it.
Paragraph.
Yeah. So I want you to look at passage 1, and we're going to do the same thing as the first time. This time, let's have the opposite partner read, and then you're going to work to find the unstated or implied main idea together.
You ready?
Miguel got an F.
Miguel got an F on his history test. He only completed 30% of the classwork and 0 of his homework. When the teacher called Miguel's father, Miguel was grounded for a month. He had to bring his books home every night and sit at the kitchen table to study.
So, remember, if this is all about Miguel
I think it's mostly how, like,
history test, wouldn't the details
how he
support
got
that? Are there any more details?
F and
how
This is all about
so
his
like
test.
Miguel
So Josh got some good details. Let's all list them, okay? He got an F on his history test. What else?
30% of his classwork and 0 of his homework.
So what do we know about how Miguel is doing in history class?
Failing.
So even though it doesn't say he failed, that's probably the main idea, is that Miguel failed because he's giving us details that show that he didn't do very well.
Because they don't tell us
that he
All right, let's try another one together. This time the other partner read, and I want you to talk about it. So again, you cannot underline the main idea.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Article time to do some. And notice that you have the title Catch the Breeze. Again, this is about how we're using wind power for energy. You've got a picture there, or I'm sorry, a photograph because it's taken from real life of the windmills that are used to make the wind energy. You have the caption that tells you what they are. And then you notice that you have bolded words, right? Why are those words bolded?
It tells you what it means after it's important.
It's important. And so if it has a number next to it, you can find the definition at the bottom. If it doesn't have a number, where do you find the definition?
In the sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
How many paragraphs do we have?
5.
So you know that we're going to have 5 main ideas. Now you're going to have to decide if it's stated or unstated. If it's stated, you can underline it, right? If it's unstated, let's take a look at the second paragraph. Some of us were having trouble with the second paragraph. Noah, can you read it for us?
At the National Wind Technology Center in Colorado, scientists are working to advance wind power technology. Wind is often considered an environmentally friendly source of power. Wind doesn't pollute the environment, and it is a renewable source of energy that can be used like fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and natural gas.
So, we have to ask ourselves first, what's the topic? What's this paragraph mostly about? What's the topic? If we had to say in one word, or 2, wind power. So it's about wind power. Well, what about wind power?
Scientists are working to advance wind power technology.
And why are they doing that? What do you think, Josh?
Because wind is often considered an environmentally friendly source of power.
So because it's environmentally friendly, is there another reason, Kylie, why they're doing that? Why would they want to advance? Advance means they want to make the wind power happen. They want to push it further and have it happen more often. Be more effective. So what are some details that tell why they might do that? What about coal? It what?
Natural.
Wind is a natural resource?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it say about wind and coal and oil and natural gas? Fossil fuels. And it says they can't be used up. So it can't be used up. It's environmentally friendly. It doesn't pollute. That also gives us more details about why scientists want to advance wind power. So our main idea is that first sentence. The scientists are working to advance wind power
technology.
Okay? Okay. I'm going to have you take these sheets and go and I want you to work on this on your own, okay? And then we'll meet and talk about that tomorrow.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Guided Reading by the Month. We'll see you next time.